All right, good morning. It is Tuesday, February 18. We got the fog on 8:20 a.m. Now, for what it's worth, I predicted and actually hoped for this stronger of the two feelings there, that we would have this happen because of the precipitation we got Friday that didn't show up on the rain gauges, didn't show up on the satellite apps of what weather was happening. So here it is. And then we still have really crazy overall, by the way, not a lot of moisture standing. It's basically as thin as it could be. It's just kind of cold moisture, cold air rather, standing, making contact with the wood. But what was I trying to say? Yeah, the Apple and AccuWeather forecasts kind of couldn't be more radically off from each other. AccuWeather says low of 16, I guess tomorrow night. Apple says 22 or 27. I'm not sure which end of the day they're referencing. But one thing that also kind of matches the hopeful prediction I made on, I guess it was Sunday or Friday, whenever I started this little series, Saturday, maybe, was that it would change this, dire outlook that we were seeing in the forecast, that it was going to drop below 20 and then kind of sit in the low 20s. Now, both of AccuWeather and Apple do show like one really intense drop, 16 or 22, and then kind of up to 27 and 28, and then up to 35, basically. I'm skipping, for sake of simplicity, a day, but not in the teens for very long and not in the low 20s for very long. That's shifted. Everything here is wonderfully still and calm. That often means rain's going to come, but I don't smell any rain from the sky. There is a light bit of moisture moving through the air. You can see it in just the moistness of the garden here. This is the sponge I made incorrectly. My first sponge. Anyway, you can see how dark that is. I think you can see that. It's moist, self-moistening right now. Receiving dew and condensation, evapotranspiration, transpiration, stuff like that. All right, so this is the quick check-in. The last thing is, AccuWeather says 80% chance of rain for a total of 1/2 of an inch, or 0.005 inches, while Apple says 35% chance of rain and makes no promises on the amount of precipitation we'll get. But again, ash there that hopefully is going to get rained in a little bit today. At the moment, it looks like it's maybe going to mount, maybe not. It's really 50-50. It's not dark enough up there to indicate rain. We're kind of getting a cool atmospheric breeze. We've got tons of fog. It doesn't really add up to rain yet. So we'll see where we are about 1 p.m. Okay, it's about 12:05 p.m. There's a silence. Yep. That just occurred. It's more that I can feel it with my big ears than I can hear a silence, but it's because rain's falling, I guess. Real light rain. There it is. And it's muting the air. So, voila. We went from kind of barely little tiny drops to real drops. I just want to show you the fog real quick. It is raining now. Just a few minutes later, it's about 10 after. Kind of see it coming down. Yeah. And so, yeah, it's 4 hours early relative to the forecast. And that's not uncommon in these ecosystem-driven rains in my little experience. AccuWeather couldn't see the rain falling right now, but Apple did see it as drizzle. Apple still sees another potential at 4 p.m. AccuWeather sees it at 2 p.m. and 7 p.m., something like that. But anyway, we're getting rain right now. Might add up to that 1/10 of an inch we were hoping for. Okay, it's almost 12:30. I'm not putting my shoes back on. We're getting real drops again. It's just slow, big, thick plops. I can kind of see, maybe not big, thick plops, but good sized plops. Ploppy drops. After the nice light angel wing precipitation. Okay, doing a quick check-in at 4:30, nearly 4:25. Look at that. Good collection of water. It's drizzling. It has been drizzling for at least an hour. I was out here at 3:30. Noticed it then. Fog from heaven continues to just deeply saturate everybody here. You can see drips now on our plants in places, not everywhere. There's one. Let's run around to the front real quick. Very wet everywhere. You can see the line there of where the rain has been falling all day. Yeah, we did good. Look at that. 1/10 of an inch or more. And it's going to keep coming. It feels like this drizzle will just continue. It says 20 more minutes, so maybe that's about right. And then I assume we'll be done. Things are going to want to button down for the super cold that's coming this way. Like that. The drizzle stopped just a couple of minutes ago. Look at the rain gauge one more time. We just had a really good long day of gentle rain. Yeah, we got more than 1/10 of an inch. A little bit more. So more than we got a couple days ago on Friday. And, but anyway, here it has mellowed slightly. The low is supposed to be 25 or 22, I think, according to Apple and then AccuWeather tonight. Maybe only 20 tomorrow night, or actually Thursday morning at like 6, according to Apple. And maybe only 19, according to AccuWeather. So we'll see. If I make one, I'm going to make one guess. If I'm going to make one gamble, I'll make this guess, which is, it says we have heavy wind the next 2 days. That should cause the vegetation to let go of any extra moisture, should prevent icing, I would think, if it's heavy wind. But it also may prevent the ability of the vegetation to really control the air. So it'll feel cold when the wind is blowing until it mellows out and things warm up a little bit. So it kind of depends on tomorrow afternoon. When we go below freezing tonight, I think around 3 a.m. or no, 1 a.m. And then we don't go back above until around 1 p.m. tomorrow, looks like. So those sort of critical hours of like noon to 5 and the amount of wind that comes through will just determine how it acts, I think. And otherwise, we're back to winter. So good. Have these long soaks.